Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory Podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. What's good, Danny? How have you been?
I've been good, dude. Recovering from, I would say July 4th, 2024 was like the weirdest week in the history of weeks, bro. Like, it just didn't make sense. I don't know how you folks, I know you went on vacation, but bro, like, did you work Friday or no? July 5th.
I did. Yeah, I did, unfortunately. Okay. I forgot I had work. I woke up hungover at like 11.
Bro, it was just a weird day, man. Like, and I was working on Teams meetings and Zoom meetings on Friday, but like everyone stopped working half day Wednesday. Bro, so it was just a weird feeling, bro. Like, even I went out with some friends on Wednesday night, and by Friday night, that felt like 2 weeks ago. Like, it was just a very odd feeling, bro. It's like we had 3 weekends in 1 week, but it wasn't even like you did much. So very strange, bro. But I stayed safe. I have all my fingers, thank God. No firework incidents. But yeah, God bless America. But very, very weird week for sure. How was your July 4th, bro? It looks sick.
Yeah, July 4th was nice. Went to my cousin hosted a barbecue, and it's always my mom's birthday on that date. So
July 4th itself.
Yeah, July 4th itself. So
nice.
I didn't realize it until I was talking to someone else about it. But I'm like, every one of her birthdays, like damn near every family member is always there. So like, it's nice when it works out that way, especially because that holiday isn't so important and grandiose where like everyone's doing their own family shit or like want to go on vacation. It's just a day to like eat good food and get drunk. So
correct. And you can celebrate your mom's birthday even better. Whereas like sometimes you like you for instance, like the way your birthday ends between like Christmas and New Year's, you kind of get asked out because people are like, we got plans.
Yeah, right. Like they don't really want to go out before New Year's, and then they're overwhelmed from Christmas, maybe spent a lot of money. So that's like the time where people want to relax, and I get it.
No one
that's
really
why
buys
I always celebrate
for July 4th. So like she's always going to be good, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was dope. Got to see family. Oh my God, though, it was so hot.
Was it?
In that area in particular? It's called Porter Ranch. Funny thing is I grew up in Cali my whole life, but never knew that area existed.
Bro, those pictures look like you were in like Cabo or some shit, bro. I was like, yo, where is this guy? Like, I'm like, bro, what remodel did your mom do that I was not made aware of?
Yeah, no, that place is crazy. It's like a 3-story, probably like 4,000 square foot home. I think they built from scratch. They got like an infinity pool of some sort.
Dude, ridiculous.
It's a beautiful area. Security's insane because so my brother and I show up to what's supposed to be the entrance. That's where Google Maps took us. And then everyone's turning around. So I guess that entrance isn't the official one. And then we go down the street around the corner to the other entrance. And there's a line of like, I kid you not, like 30 cars. And I'm like, are we going to like Chris Brown's house?
Get buzzed in, right?
Yeah. Well, you got to show your ID and then you have to be a part of the guest list. So that was crazy, especially because of how hot it was. I was like, I can't be dealing with this shit right now. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, minus the heat. And even though I was only in LA for a small, short handful of days, I got to hang out with friends, family.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it wasn't just like that one event that you did.
No.
Nice.
So it was a good weekend. The driving was kind of exhausting, and I hate seeing family and friends and then coming back home. Especially I'm alone right now, so my wife's not even here. So like it was kind of depressing the past 24 hours, but yeah, it was great.
Nice, dude. Congrats. I'm glad you had that, bro. How long is that drive right now, like for you?
5 hours.
Okay,
and it's
so
very
that's like a bitch.
Yeah, it's a bitch, but like once I'm out of the city, I'm basically cruise controlling it the whole time. There's not a lot of traffic.
So what's the MO for you? Is that a lot of podcasts? Is it music? Is it silence? Just to like finally be quiet for a little bit?
I would say mostly music, podcasts as well every now and then, but it just varies. But I'd say music for the most part.
Yeah, because I just did a 3-hour drive and I'm mostly podcasts. I feel like the music shit, I'm like, bro, again, not to complain about anything, but like, I feel like we've already heard the same few songs over and over again. So like, I feel like when we know, like we have like a 3-5 hour drive, it's like either let me discover a new album or let me just listen to like a new episode of a podcast that I fuck with.
Yeah, no, fair. Like when I I listen to music, I would say more so going down because there's a lot of songs that I like hadn't really heard in the car.
Mhm.
And I was more upbeat and excited. But coming home, I was like, fuck, coming home to an empty house. I don't want to like listen to like, and I'm tired. I don't want to listen to like hardcore Don Toliver songs and shit right now. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
try to just browse YouTube for like fun content.
Nice, nice, man. I'm glad it worked out. Dude, the heat, I feel with the heat, bro. So we got lucky as hell. So it was hot as hell in Miami as well, like in South Florida, bro. Like we left our house, it was like 96 degrees. So like that's just like the heat where you like walk outside and like you're already sweating before you get in the car. So I'm like, this is gonna be dreadful. Luckily, we went to my boy's apartment in Miami, and the way the building is positioned, it blocks the sun. So, and he was on the bay, so like it was like the bay breeze with no sun, and I'm like, oh, bro,
Nice.
this is clutch, because I was
Yeah,
ready to
yeah.
fucking just die. Like, bro, we're gonna
Yeah.
just be out this bitch for 5 hours waiting for the fireworks and just die. But
Mhm.
luckily, it worked out. But yeah, because otherwise, I think it was just fucking terribly hot everywhere, bro.
Yeah, no, like every 5 miles, there was on the highway, there was a sign that was like, remember to stay hydrated, like
Yeah,
extreme heat warning.
yeah, for sure. I think everyone had good weather, like except like Texas, that got hit by like another fucking
Hurricane.
hurricane. Yeah, bro,
Damn.
it's wild times right now, but all good. We survived. Again, happy birthday to your mom. Belated to her. But I
Appreciate
hope
it.
everyone had a safe Independence Day. Have all your fingers intact. Let's get to it. Episode 185. Episode 184 is everywhere. 185, bro. Where do you want to start? With the Not Like Us video, other topics, and eventually get there. I'll let you drive the bus.
Let's start with Not Like Us.
Okay. So again, video came out Wednesday. So he did the pop-up show on Juneteenth and said, fuck it, let me just ruin another national holiday. So he drops Not Like Us on July 4th. Dude, I watched the video on July 5th. I didn't want to let it ruin my fucking day, to be honest. I thought it was fine, bro. I thought it was. I mean, again, I feel like the Kendrick stans or the people who just like the controversy will try to make everything super deep. And again, I don't think anything wasn't calculated, right? Like you have so much time.
Yeah.
Like your song is so descriptive. I mean, not as a knock, but like the song is so descriptive that obviously you're gonna have the visuals that will mimic that to a certain extent, right? But I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as like how like patching this was and like jarring, bro, I would say like a 4, bro. Like again, it wasn't anything I didn't expect. We saw half these clips of everyone in LA losing their minds. I know there were some funny hand gestures and innuendos that you had to like really focus on, but for the most part, bro, I thought this was gonna be like a much worse, another fucking massive knockout punch to Drake, and I honestly don't think it was any of that. Like, it was a dope video. I mean, it looked like a dope moment in LA culture for sure. But as far as the video itself, like in context of the beef, like I just thought it was like cool, like another thing happened, kind of.
Yeah, no, I'd fully agree. And I try to be honest with myself, but I felt as soon as I was done with the video, I felt that like I don't want to call it disappointment because like it's not that serious of a situation, but I felt myself wishing I had experienced more. I didn't get that feeling of like I need to rewatch it, which is what I had gotten with or how I felt when I first heard the song. I was like, I need to re-listen to the song like 15 times, but I didn't get that with the video. And the other thing, I know you mentioned like the Kendrick stands coming up with like the theories and stuff behind the creativity of the video. Like if it is true, like I commend Kendrick for inserting these little Easter eggs, but at the same time, like I shouldn't have to fucking do like all this research to appreciate like the subtle hand gestures and shit. Like like it should be obvious enough to where like the average person can notice it, and it's Kendrick's art. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Personally, I do think stands on both sides are like reaching with a lot of shit, particularly Kendrick though, because I think he's he's supposed to be like the sophisticated one in the
Yeah,
beef.
like this mythical like rapper that only has these concepts and like you need a
Yeah.
tutorial. It's like, bro, if your minutes already if your video's already 6 minutes and I gotta
Yeah.
watch a 20-minute tutorial about each part, bro, you lost me. But I would feel
Right.
that way about anything, bro, like a Jay-Z video or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, bro, like I think it's like hip hop, like it's almost like hip hop in a nutshell. Like we don't want the obvious raps, right?
Yeah.
But bro, don't also make me feel like I have to pull out like an encyclopedia to understand what the fuck's going on, right? Like there
Yeah.
has to be that beautiful balance of like, all right, this stuff is gonna be sophisticated, but like also obvious to the trained eye. And like
Right.
again, the video just felt like, okay, bro, like what is this? Why are you wearing white? What does white mean? Kind of thing,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, to that point. So I think it's like the owl in the cage, perfect, brilliant
Perfect.
example of
Got it.
not so obvious to where it's like corny, but it's also symbolic and like creative enough to where you're like, oh, this is actually dope. You don't have to do research to know what the
Right.
owl in the cage meant. So those are the moments I appreciated. And then on top of that, like, I don't know, I was mostly on YouTube where I saw the behind the scenes stuff. It was kind of like watching, when you've seen like 17 different movie trailers, and by the time you watch the movie, you're like, all right, I already
think
saw
that
this
happened
shit.
too. I think that happened. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So that was another thing that kind of took away a lot of the surprise, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, it did, for credit to Kendrick's camp, I think all those behind the scenes kind of still got people excited for whenever the video dropped.
Mhm.
Right.
True,
so
true.
I think people were still like, I think the video ended up doing initially very good numbers because I think everyone's, oh, bro, finally, let's see, like,
Yeah.
is Bobby going to be in the video? Is he going to have Chris Brown on some like super like, yo, fuck you, everyone you thought you were cool with down here doesn't fuck with you kind of a thing, right? So like,
Yeah.
I was intrigued for that. But yeah, like once you see it, you're not like, yo, run it back, right? Whereas with the song, like, again, as a Drake stan, I'm saying like, bro, like, I can't get that fucking song out of my head. Even Gina was like, oh, wow, you're singing it? And I was like, oh, wow, bitch, why do you know the words? Like, but like, bro, like the song is so replayable, right? But the video wasn't. Like the video wasn't. And I don't think that's like, I feel like that's a neutral opinion on it, bro. Like you watch, you're like, cool. Like, now I'm not saying move on by any means, but it wasn't something like, again, I feel like first person shooter was let me watch that shit back because this is like one of the craziest videos I've ever fucking seen in my life. This just felt like a very good, well directed hip hop video. But like the essence of the video, which maybe was the point, felt like any quintessential, very well done LA video we've ever seen before, right? Like there's homage to Nipsey a little bit, even like a Biggie kind of a thing with him and Mustard in the car, like almost like him and Puff. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I felt like I've seen this video before, except for obviously the pinata and the owl shit. Like everything else, though, I felt like I've seen this before.
Yeah. I think the concert just set the bar high, and like that was a version of this video, but like because it was very celebratory, and it already felt like LA or Cali, whatever you want to call it, united with that concert. So when you see the people in LA chanting the lyrics and stuff, at least to me, and I'm sure to you, I know we already talked about it, but it felt like, okay, that's already kind of what happened at the concert. We already saw Tommy the Clown and his crew like doing the choreography and stuff. So it felt like a mini recap of the concert.
Yeah. Which again isn't bad, but like we already know everyone watched the concert. So like why do we do it again? But again, bro, like again, we can figure that part out later. Again, I don't think it's an L for Kendrick, right? I think the video's well done. But I think people were expecting, again, because at the end of the day, this is a diss record, diss video. I don't think it was a super L for Drake, which that in itself is a win because, bro, this could have been the video drops July 4th. He's out enjoying his fucking time at the white party, and everyone just is replaying this video saying, bro, did you see what he did to you? And it wasn't that, bro. It wasn't that. Again, do you think like Do you think Kendrick held back though, or do you think he got his point across with like the subtleties of the jab?
I think he got his point across. I feel like even though Kendrick obviously he's been direct, I don't think he wants to be so. I don't think he wants to overdo it with making it about Drake, because I don't think it's really that.
But the song is a diss track though.
Personal. It is a diss track, but
it should be like about him. Like I'm okay with that though. Like, you know, if it's a diss track about me, bro, go all in. Like I think those, like, that part is fair, I think.
Well, I think I mean, if there is an L Drake took with the video, I think it's the fact that he debunked like the two biggest
the family stuff
points. Yeah, like the family stuff and Day Free. Like in the Family Matters track, those were the two base themes or jabs, was that, you know, your manager's not really your man. He's banging your wife, and your wife is terrified of you because you beat her all the time. And then they're both in the video dancing around happy go lucky. So it's kind of like basically saying everything you're saying is proven to be fake. Some people are saying my shit's fake, but no one's coming out really. You can't, if the daughter doesn't exist, like, you know, there's nothing Drake can really do to prove that she doesn't exist.
Yeah,
he'll look crazy if he calls up every hospital to like release records or some shit.
Pull up the 4 people who got pregnant over the last like 3 years. Like, yo, confirm you had an abortion. Like, just confirm that. Wild shit. Yeah, no, I feel you with that. I mean, dude, but the other side of it's like, I think and this is not me. I'm just saying, because I already seen the comment on like academic stuff or like Complex. I think the other side of it is that the angle that all Drake fans are going to use is that it took us beefing to us to see you like that with your wife, and then, you know what I mean, like you went out of your way to say Dave Free directed this because you want to prove a point, right? Like that's the other side of this, right? Like the angle of like you needed me for your biggest record. So like, I don't know, even that part, bro. Like, again, I don't know LA culture at all, right? So I'm not even going to resemble to have any idea. But even them dancing around, like, it was like, did that come across like cool?
Who's they?
Him and his wife, or him and his fiance.
I thought it was a cool moment.
Okay.
But I didn't like lose my shit. Like, oh my God, look at her crip walking. It was just kind of like, okay, she clearly has a good enough relationship with him, even if they might not be together, or if Kendrick did the shit he did to her. Like, clearly everyone that Drake indicated was not messing with Kendrick like that to create
messing with him
chaos. You know, now we know that's not really the case. But again, like, yeah, none of the video was very surprising to me. Like, I didn't think she didn't like Kendrick. I didn't think Dave Free, you know, was responsible for birthing a son with his wife or anything like that. Like,
yeah, no, for sure. I just didn't. It was just like, I don't know, the idea that the diss record or this beef, because that part felt very like, not stage is the right word, but like very like performative.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
so it was just like, all right, bro, like, cool, like you're dancing with your girl, like you should be doing this. Like, I don't know why this is the part we want to put the diss record, but I get it, right? It's a direct response without having to say anything to his. So I get that part. It just felt where it's a 5, almost 6-minute video, and that's a good portion of it. It just felt very performative. Like, if I was Drake, I would see that and be like, all right, cool, you should be dancing with the mother of your children, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe maybe Kendrick didn't go all in with, like, you know, a Drake actor, like, you know, being,
which is what we said we thought was gonna happen, right? Like, we like kind of like threw it out there, kind of.
Yeah. Well, we thought he was gonna have Bobby Althoff do like some sort of
recreate
parody of the interview.
Yeah. Bro, I thought that would have been fire, bro.
Yeah. But then maybe Kendrick doesn't want to feel the idea that he's like, if it's not, you know, so focused on Drake himself, that otherwise this song would like never have the momentum it has. Like, I feel like maybe Kendrick wants the song will be more long lasting if it is like an LA anthem, because like back to back, as much as that song's cool, it's kind of weird if they're like kind of friends now, right? Like
Yeah.
back to back doesn't hit the same because it's just such a diss song. I don't think anyone fucking listens to Ether or like
No.
any other songs. So I think Kendrick,
The only other diss track that I can think of is like "Hit Me Up." Oh, hit him
yeah,
up. Sorry, hit him
hit
up.
him up.
Yeah, that's the only one that you like. You just love that intro, so you're like, "Fuck it, bro, play it." But yeah, there's no other
Yeah.
diss track that we're listening. Like, dude, Takeover. No one listens to that shit. So no, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, because it's almost like you know at some point you can't kill the idea of Drake, right?
Yeah.
So like you don't want when people start fucking heavy, they're like, oh, we can't listen to your song anymore. So like if
Yeah.
you make this song more like it's just a fire anthem, then it's like I know I get I like that take. That's a good take. That's a good take. Which I think a lot of people were trying to push on us post the pop-up show, right? Like I feel like a lot of guys went on air were like Roddy Ricch and like Big Boy were like, it's bigger than Drake, it's bigger than Drake. It's like,
yeah.
okay.
And that's why everyone's like, I've seen so many interviews talking about like DeRozan being in the video or why is YG there and Chris Brown and this, that, and everyone's like, their immediate argument is it's for the city. It's not really about Drake. That's just like a part of it, but Drake's the one who's like going against the city essentially, and this is just a celebratory, hey, the city's up. Like it's not fuck Drake, it's fuck anyone who's against the city kind of thing. I don't know.
Do you believe that?
It's tough to say because I don't really like with DeRozan or YG or any of these guys. I feel like if we don't know what their true relationship is behind the scenes, it's tough to say if they really don't fuck with Drake or what. I think overall, like, I mean, part of me is like excited about all this, not even necessarily because I want to see Drake fall off or whatever, but it's exciting to see the West Coast get this momentum again. But if Drake was someone who I viewed as like my boy or just like a great person to work with business wise, I mean, I'd still think I'd show up, but I'd be kind of like YG, where YG's not really reciting the lyrics and shit. He's just literally showing up. It's kind of like he feels like it's his duty. But for those, like I saw Chris Brown reciting the lyrics, like, and not even just the basic lyrics, like I think OV Ho and all those. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, you clearly anything you do with Drake is just like acquaintance, cordial shit. Like it's not a real friendship.
You're not boys, bro. No guidance is like out the window. Bro, like, yeah, you saw that video of him at the club you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Damn, he was feeling the lyrics.
Yo, he was, dude, that was like him reminiscing of like Drake trying to kiss Rihanna, and he's like, yo, I fucking never liked him, bro.
Yeah, he was definitely feeling the lyrics.
Yeah, I get it, dude. I get it, bro. Like, I get it. I don't know if I put stock and believe in the idea that like it's not about Drake, right? I just, it's hard for me to believe that about a diss record, bro. Like that, just like the idea of trying to spin this on that notion is crazy to me. However, I do think the moment is becoming bigger than Drake, right?
Yeah.
And I respect that part of it. But like it's hard for me to remove the two because like, bro, we're only here because your man's had a phenomenal diss record at the top 2 person in rap, bro, for the last 10, 12, 15 years, bro. Like,
yeah.
So like, okay, cool. This is a great moment. And like, we need to embrace that because, I mean, I wouldn't say LA's been down, right? But I mean, because dude, would you say that LA even had this kind of love with Nipsey around? Because it felt like LA kind of rejuvenated itself after his passing. Right, so this is probably going back to like the Game time where like a West Coast artist was like truly on top, right?
Yeah, but I think with Nipsey, like for some reason people never, I don't think people fucked with his music like on a grand scale.
Yeah,
like, I feel like hip hop heads like respected it, but I don't think people were really, you know, checking for him like that. Like he wasn't commercial enough at all.
Yeah. Well, I think the Game was though, right? That's a fair, like the game with those first 2 albums, dude. That's also going. That's almost 20 years ago, right? Yeah. So, you know, like, so this is a dope moment, bro. Like, there should be a rallying cry behind it, and I support that, bro. Like, yo, it's up right now. Imagine like what can come from, you know, him going on tour, him bringing more acts with him. Like, again, this is a great moment for LA. But I do think I can see from the other side of it being Drake's side. It's like, bro, like, okay, that's all fine and dandy, bro. But like, this is still a diss record. You guys are calling me certified PDF, OV ho. Like, you're taking joy in saying lyrics are direct shots at me. Fuck yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, I can still get that side of it, bro. But it's all good, man. Again, I just think the video itself wasn't anything that I was just like, oh, bro, it's over for my guy. Like, bro, like, get it.
Yeah.
It's done for him. Which, again, do you think anyone got in Kendrick's ear, though, and was like, bro, like, also just fall back a little bit? And, like, let's put the video out. Let's capitalize. And, like, all right, we're done with this part of, you know, this process.
I don't think so. I feel like Kendrick's making all his decisions. But now that I think about the song itself, I'm like, if I was Kendrick, I don't know if I'd really want like PDF file type imagery, even if it's like a parody. I feel like that stuff's not anything to play with, even if it's like funny in the context of the beef. Yeah, I think it would just kind of just be weird and be going too far. Like the prison scene was like the most he
and even that was subtle, bro. That's right. You doing push-ups in a fucking set, like, okay, like, cool. Yeah. Like, no, I agree though, because again, like, if he's now stepping up to be that guy, the masses can't see you as you also finding this funny in a weird level, right? Because like, yeah, you can say it making fun at the other guy, but if you like embrace it and you try to poke fun at it in a creepy way, it's like, all right, bro, like, relax. You know, like this, this is odd. So like, you know, right. I get that too. Yeah, I agree. Again, and I thought the video was subtle enough, bro. The A minor thing, he could have drove that home in a bunch of different ways, and just it was clever. Like, bro, what do they call it? Hopscotch, or is that what it's called?
Yeah, hopscotch, when he's doing the dance on the numbers.
Yeah, bro, I was good with that, bro. Again, subtle to the point, but it drove it home. Yeah, man, it was subtle, bro. I think this is probably the most tasteful diss video I've ever seen. And not even like as a jab, like it was cool. Like, bro, like the damage is done. Like, I don't think there was a need for another, like, you know, haymaker. Like, bro, that already landed like a month ago.
Yeah. Do you think if Drake filed like some defamation lawsuit against Kendrick, like he'd be over? Not over, but do you think it would be an even bigger L and people would just be like, man, this dude's like just lame as fuck?
Yeah, bro, like 100%. He cannot do that, bro. And which, again, if he was gonna do it, he was gonna do it 2 months ago. You know, like, right. There's no way you do it now, like, bro,
unless he just gets so fed up and depressed. He's so like, fuck over, this rap shit.
I can't go on Instagram, bro. Like,
yeah.
Bro, I think Jaden was sitting next to me, bro. Like, I was on TikTok and like I couldn't. Every other video was not like us. And like, bro, I actually want to like see what the video is, and I can't even watch it because it's like immediate, and I'm just like, oh, like fuck, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm sure he's going through it, but yeah, he can't put like a cease and desist, or definitely he would just look crazy. But back to Kendrick real quick. So what do you think this means? The album, we had a dope snippet for the first like 15 seconds of the video. Which people were kind of alluding that this might be like a song that's about to drop, or, you know, album, you know, on the way. So like, what do you think? I know we kind of spoiled this before, but now that we have the video, that there's more hints. Like, do you think the album is on the way?
I would say so. It seems like he's been smart about keeping the momentum going. I doubt he wants to let it die out or give Drake the opportunity to kind of like reemerge and be like, all right, it's quiet now. Like, let me fucking
here's your 5 hits.
Yeah, exactly. So as far as how soon, I think now like enough has been done to where like end of year or even like early to mid next year was probably fine and realistic. But I would say end of this year would make sense if I were him, because the summer's already done, which is like Drake's prime time.
I mean, it's only July 8th, bro.
True. I mean, yeah, I guess we got like a month and a half left, but I think in Drake's best interest, he shouldn't be dropping it within the next few months for sure.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing though. So I think, oh, you mean it's in Drake's interest if Kendrick doesn't drop in the next 2 months?
No, I think it's in Drake's interest to not drop anything for at least a couple months, because this song is going to be bumping, whether it's the video's fault or boredom. Like, not like us is going to be talked about and played for the rest of the summer, I think.
Oh yeah, I agree, dude. I agree. And I'm gonna have maybe a challenger to it for song of the summer, even though there's no chance. But just had a funny experience over the week, so I'll bring it up in the heat of the week. But bro, so it's funny though because I honestly think the only way we get an album from Kendrick later than this summer or like early fall, so like September at the latest, is that if he genuinely doesn't have an album to give us, right? Like maybe like he like while he's been away post Mr. Morale, he's just been chilling, enjoying life, enjoying his, baby moms and the kids and enjoying being, off TDE and this happened. He's like, fuck it. He got the itch again, but maybe he doesn't have an album to give us, which is fine. But bro, I have this weird feeling, even though you and I are on the same page, we both agree that Drake needs to just fall back because everything at times looks corny from him, right? Even though it's not, it's just like, bro, you gotta just chill. Bro, like, just stop looking at people. Like, just go away, right? We don't want to even know what you look like right now. Bro, but I have this weird feeling, I think academics alluded to it, but even by like Drake's like post here and there, bro, I think he's gonna drop something this summer, bro. Like, I think either like an EP, a Scary Hours 4 or something, bro. But I think we're getting a good amount of Drake content this summer. So again, if you're Kendrick, you let that happen, let him fucking flop because people are just like kind of getting over Drake and need a break from him. I don't know, bro. But if I was Kendrick, I don't even know if I want to give the opportunity for people to like you again. Like,
yeah.
Maybe he just drops an album right after, like, yo, fuck you, here's my album. That's like to get back at him.
So, I mean, let's say he doesn't have an album, or let's say he does. Don't you think he could still drop his like alleged one of the 5 remaining diss tracks just to like throw off the momentum? Because I think even one dope diss track that's maybe not like us level, but dope enough could fuck up the momentum if it's a new angle.
No, dude. So I would push back on that only because I think everyone agrees that Not Like Us is the pinnacle of a diss record, and you're not topping Not Like Us. But I also think you're also gonna really push the envelope on how much more people have as far as energy to deal with this shit. Right. At some point, people are like, bro, like, we get it, dog. You don't like it. Like, we've heard every angle. You gave us 4 songs. You gave us a video. You gave us a concert. We get it, bro. Like, it's almost like if Drake would have kept dissing Meek after back to back, it's like, bro, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, we get it. You won, bro. Like, it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like that would also be like overkill. And that can also turn the pendulum like, bro, like, no, like, we're going back to the guy we always go to for hits if you're going to keep doing this weird shit.
Fair. So, I mean, I know you mentioned academics alluding to Drake dropping more albums or a project. Do you think it's because of this whole like Universal deal where he's supposed to allegedly drop like 3 projects a year or whatever the fuck the number is?
I mean, dude, it might be, bro. If he got essentially, dude, they're saying he got close to $1 billion from that deal.
Yeah.
So I mean, it might be for like fuck, like I'll fucking put out an album a week, So
yeah,
it might very well be that, bro. Like it might be, or bro, like I mean, dude, he also loves making music, Like it's like I feel like I don't want to kill him too much for that. If he signed some deal that's like, bro, you got to give us an album every year, and it's like, cool. How much is the bag, kind of a thing, bro, because. I don't know. So it might be that. I mean, if it is that, I don't hold it against him. But I also think, dude, he just likes putting out records, bro. I think he wants to see how high he gets on the charts and, what other records he can break. So, yeah, I mean, again, I'm not. It might be that. It might not be that. But again, if an album comes out and it's good, are we going to be mad because Universal's like, forcing him to work? Or are we going to be just happy that we got a quality album from a rapper we like?
I mean, I think most people will be happy. I just think if it flops, I think the casual listeners who kind of don't care to pick a side all that much, the ones who basically choose the popular person that everyone else likes, I think that's crowd is going to be loud and just drive the narrative in the wrong direction for Drake if it whatever project it is, if it flops, it's just gonna be spam on every post. Like, damn, like Drake really took a L. He really fell off. Like, he's the new Ja Rule, blah blah. I think that's where he takes the risk because the Drake fans are gonna like it probably no matter what. The Kendrick stands are obviously gonna hate it or shit on it, but the middle crowd who like just wants to like whoever's popular, I think
Yeah,
that's who he has to watch out for.
yeah, for sure. It's yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Again, I still in the camp, and I think you are too. You should just fall back. But I don't know, bro. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think he's gonna just feel the need to like either wait it out, coast clear. Here's 3 songs. Hope you like it, kind of a thing. But we'll see, man. It'll be very interesting. Another topic you had here, though, man, that I kind of wanted to get into. Well, I guess we can talk about him at the. No, let's talk about this other topic. We can get about the white party was not really anything to talk about. So thoughts on children pop stars and children rap stars really not being a thing anymore, like teenagers essentially, right?
Yeah, teenagers. Like, and when I say teenagers, I'm talking like 16 under, like at most in terms of their age.
Right. Whereas back in the day when we grew up, we always had a Bow Wow, we always had a Little Romeo, we always had a Soulja Boy, we always had pop groups, right, or R&B groups. You know, fucking NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Destiny's Child, SLWV. Like, you know, the list is endless, and it just feels, bro, maybe since SoundCloud days that this is not really a thing anymore.
And specifically like teeny bopper content as well, not a 16-year-old drill rapper, like for the kids.
Yeah. So why do you think that is? Like, why do you think that has ended so aggressively these last like maybe like 4 or 5 years, maybe longer?
For one, I mean, I feel like whenever something's not as popular, I immediately just think it's not profitable enough. It's kind of how corporate America or life in general works, but
which is crazy because all these people at these concerts are that age. Like,
right. But I think it's because there's like no barrier between like content made for adults and kids, especially with TikTok and stuff. Like there's I mean, we've seen it with the Sexy Red songs. Like there's elementary school girls doing dances to it and stuff. So I just feel like maybe kids are being exposed to older content more quickly or content for older people. And because of that, it's for the music industry, it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, or just promoting to everybody. Cause now we don't have to tailor it to, you know, the 8-year-old kid, because he already likes Drake and whoever else.
Yeah. Damn, even like Justin Bieber, when he first came out, he was making songs for that crowd too, right? Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's tough, man. I mean, one, dude, I wish we had more context as well, but like, it's like the money being made in the industry. Cause like there has to be money being made somewhere, right? Like, again, to Drake's contract, Universal, like people are clearly getting rich off music. Even they want to say it's not the same from like the 90s when you sold your own albums, blah, 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 blah. But bro, like there has to be a reason that there's no more kid stars. Like no Britney Spears, right? No Christina Aguilera. Like this list is actually pretty extensive of like what we're used to in the late 90s, early 2000s, and like it doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Damn, dude, it might be the sexual content and like maybe no like corporate like brand wants to put a stamp on that, and like because the thing about like I don't know if Britney Spears Hit Me Baby One More Time would be allowed in today's culture either though, right? I think they're cool with like the early 20-year-old is sexual, but it's like a general sexualness, whereas she was a 16-year-old being sexual like towards kids, and it was like cool or like accepted in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like that was just more shit they let slide back in the day, whereas I don't think they want to put that stamp on it now.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely part of it. And on top of that, I don't know, I feel like a lot of child stars were mainly within pop. And I feel like that's not as popular nowadays, which is kind of ironic to call it pop if it's not popular. But hip hop and EDM, I feel like, and even reggaeton have taken over, and I feel like they're all genres where one EDM, like a kid can't do anything with that shit unless they know how to like DJ or whatever, and then hip hop, you kind of care about like this authentic struggle story of some sort, or
Yeah.
maybe just ratchet stuff, but like what is a 10-year-old gonna really rap about in terms of struggle? Like no 23-year-old or a kid is necessarily gonna understand what's or resonate with it.
Yeah, because again,
Yeah.
and dude, like that's a great point because, bro, like Bow Wow was pretty much the closest you can get to like a perfect teeny bopper rap star, right?
Mhm.
And even he was corny. You know what I mean? Like he was as close to like perfection, bro. Like pause, but like I have sisters and like cousins, female cousins. Like, bro, like there was no one cuter to them than Bow Wow, bro. Like when they were like 14, 15, bro. Like
Mhm.
Mr. 106 in Park was a real name he had because it was the moment you get out of school, you run to watch BET and see if his video went #1. So like he did it very well. But bro, even that though, dog, like once people really understood like JD was writing his rhymes, you know what I mean?
Uh,
And like, this is just like a really rich kid that doesn't really live this life. You were like, I don't know anymore, kind of a thing.
yeah, but I feel like he didn't, and granted, like I was around the same age, maybe younger than him at the time, but I feel like he didn't become corny until was marketing to like older
Older
audiences. Then it
audience.
was like you
Correct,
were the
correct.
little kid who like
Yeah, yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
doing this and that, whereas he was like the shit to like a 15-year-old girl at the
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah, it's weird, bro. But
yeah.
again, but I think people are probably yeah, dude, it's probably the nature of cycles, man. And I think to your point, like we've been complaining about, I think it's actually dying down a little bit now, which is great. But like drill music, right? They're probably just seeing like, yo, what is making money right now? And it's like sexual content, ops, aggressive, violent shit for male rappers, right? So like
Mhm.
the idea of anyone coming around and like trying to create that with a kid is crazy. And we've spoken about that in the past. Whereas I think at the time of like Bow Wow, bro, there was rappers were making pop records, like
Mhm.
focusing on it not being that aggressive, right? That was like peak Ja Rule at the time.
Yeah.
So the idea of a kid also doing that kind of music wasn't crazy because it's like, yeah, it's just good feel music. Let's dance. But oh, dude, this is, yeah, for sure. This is like peak like Diddy and the Bad Boy Family. They had hits after hits that were just like fun dance hip hop songs. So yeah, I think it's more like what's happening in the industry as a whole. And then if it's easily digestible by the kids in a non-awkward way, then I think the industry starts backing it with like actual money to create these because like, dude, all these things are created, bro. Like the
Mhm.
NSYNCs, the Destiny Child, like these are not like, oh, we're five
Yeah.
best friends. Let's,
Yeah.
it's like five greedy ass parents who like, yo, let's get fucking rich off this. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think it's more of just the times we live in, bro. Like it's all the trendy stuff. The trendy shit right now, unfortunately, is not stuff you would want your kid creating on their own. If they consume it, they consume it. But
Yeah.
you don't want to see a 18 or 16-year-old talking about sliding into your daughter's DMs, right? Like it's so fucking weird.
And with social media now, like one, kids aren't even supposed to be on it. So it's like, how do you
Right.
market to them? And how are you gonna get this artist to make content constantly? Like you gonna watch this motherfucker make Legos or something? Like
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a lot more difficult nowadays to safely market a child in an appropriate way to the right audience.
Yeah. Because, bro, I feel like it's too easy right now to be deemed like the weirdo company that allowed some weird shit to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like a fine line of like, bro, it's not if I'm like the label, bro, it's like it's not even worth it. Bro, like I don't want to attempt this and then we get canceled for some shit we're just trying to do to like,
Mm-hmm.
again, there was a sense of naivety like back in the day, whereas like I think we just know way too much now and we can't even give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, oh yeah, you just want to, there's like you want to give 14-year-olds music for themselves to enjoy. And it's like, that's weird. Why do you want kids you know what I mean? Like it's just like we question everything, unfortunately. Whereas I think back in the day, like maybe there was moments of that in its purest form, but now, bro, like everything is just like you're a weirdo for even wanting to, make music for kids. It's like, fuck, okay,
Yeah.
like let me just I guess I want that.
Yeah. And I'm sure with AI, it's like, because kids don't really care. They just want something that's catchy. With AI, especially, I feel like you could just spit out like a Baby Shark type thing and make
Yeah.
money and not have any repercussions of like a little kid getting
What does
violated.
this mean? Yeah, for sure. But real quick, speaking of kid rappers that we fucked with, but again, funny enough, Jaden Smith, it was actually his birthday today. I think he turned like 24, 25. He's still young as shit. But dude, I was listening to an album of his like Sire like a week ago at the gym, bro. Dude, I think that album dropped when he was 16, 17 years old. That's interesting, like when you have like a teeny bopper age, but like making music towards like adults.
Yeah.
And then people really fucking like that's very odd, bro. Like I like it because I wanted just to listen to that shit back again as a 35-year-old and be like, bro, was I just going through something, bro? Like, did I really like this? And I'm like, bro, that shit is better now, to be honest. Like, have you listened to any of his shit like at all, like recently?
Yeah, I've been listening to stuff recently, and even his new song he recently released. And yeah, same as you, I was kind of mind blown that he's one of the few like nepo kids that when I hear their music or see their content, I don't immediately think of like who their parent is that like
At all.
put them on. Like
Yeah.
it's separate to me.
100%, dude. 100%. Do you think so? What would you attribute to him falling off? Do you think it's just like, unfortunately, like his like sexual orientation kind of a thing that just kind of throws people off, like in hip hop, that like they'll never let you get like too famous in that space if like it's unclear? Do you think it was that?
I don't think so because I feel like nowadays, if anything, I think it helps, especially
yeah,
with like
fair.
Tyler the Creator. Unless you're like the baby or some shit where you're supposed to be this hardcore figure. I feel like if you're making the kind of like ambiguous slash like music for everybody and it doesn't have like this hyper masculine vibe, then I feel like it should help. But I don't know. Maybe at least for me, I feel like he strayed away from hip hop and kind of made this like hippie-ish, psychedelic like
right.
rock stuff. And
but like not
I don't know anything about that audience. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I don't know if that shit like hits.
Yeah, I mean, based off like his overall like fame, I'm a lean towards no, right? Because I think like even with the Yachty stuff, like when he took that risk, I think we appreciated the risk because like, all right, but this sounds very good, And I think he dropped, what was it, CTV 3 or something like that. Jaden did, and it's like, bro, this is like a weird sound you're going for that I don't think you're doing very well. Because I think what was like very impressive with the first 2 or 3 rap albums he had is that like it was shocking how good it was, right? It's like, this is really like, you sound good, like these lyrics hit. Whereas this different genre, again, maybe we got too accustomed to him as a hip hop artist, but it just felt too different, and I don't think you were actually doing it very well.
Yeah, and also I feel like doesn't seem to be making an effort to like collaborate with other big names who might be able to, I don't know, add some variety to it or like
besides
direction
like Bieber,
that's more
like
commercial.
It's always like a Bieber feature or like maybe ASAP Max, but I agree with that too. Yeah, but no, you mentioned Kid Stars, and I was thinking about him because I listened to that album like a week ago, and I'm like, bro, that was dude, like if you would have told me that shit dropped in 2016, bro, and then like he was only like 16, 17, and then like in what 3 or 4 years, it's like he's not even really on the radar anymore. That's crazy, dog. Because when we saw him at Coachella 2019, like, bro, that was like a must-see show. Like it was just like, it wasn't just him and us, like, just watching him, bro. Like that shit was packed, bro. Like, he brought Will Smith out. Kid Cudi gave him a dab. The Jenners were watching him. Like, bro, like that was like a moment. So for that to not feel like that whatsoever 4 or 5 years later, that's weird, Like, like dude, that's like that like almost like should be studied. Like, like what happened, bro?
Right. I feel you on that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, shout out to him. Happy birthday to him. Hopefully we get some. So you said he just dropped an album recently, or just like dropped a couple songs?
I think it was just a single, and it was called I think Rose. Was it Roses or Rose? I think it's Roses. Yeah, Roses.
Okay,
It's a pretty good song.
Is it? Is it R&B ish or?
Yeah, it's kind of like that psychedelic, like R&B-ish stuff that he's always been on. I don't know if it's the shrooms or what, but it's not a bad song. I'm just like, I feel like I need to be, you know, on the grass staring up at the stars and shit. Like, and I'm not always in that mood. So
yeah, sometimes you're just driving back home from LA. You're like, bro, give me a fucking hip hop album. Like,
and he's a pretty good rapper too. So like,
dude, a very good rapper, bro. Like, yeah, for sure. So shout out to him though. I'll peep that. Anything else you want to get into before Heat of the Week?
Nah, let's dive right in.
All right, episode 185, Heat of the Week. I'm gonna go first because I need to justify this, because I also need to retract the statement I made about this song 5 weeks ago when it dropped. So this is what I hate about the internet, bro. Especially living on the East Coast, that everything I catch it in the morning when it already dropped on the West Coast at like a normal time for you. So when Sexy Red dropped in Sexy We Trust, the album, it had that song with Drake, You My Everything, right? And we listened to the song, right? But I already knew he sampled the BBL Drizzy thing. So dude, when I heard the song the first couple of times, I was really just like, yo, get me to the Drake part. Kind of a thing, right? And then I said at the time, I think he did a fine job. I appreciate the flip, blah, blah, blah. Bro, I was listening to that song on a mix a week ago. And then I listened to the song on a run for like 2 miles, bro, on repeat. Bro, I know it's not going to be the song of the summer because there's two, like, again, they're not trying to hear Drake as a song of the summer. But bro, You My Everything, Sexy Red, and Drake is a banger, bro. Like, yo, I know you think I'm crazy right now.
No, I don't.
I need you to re-listen to that song, bro. It is a banger. Like, dude, she does so well on that song, bro.
Okay.
Like, she does so, like, dude, the bad singing that's actually good singing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when rappers do that shit, like, you can't really tell, like, are they trying to be funny, but like it ends up being very good. Bro, that shit. And then I think the Drake feature is fire. And then, bro, honestly, if you just listen to the song in its context alone, you forget about the BBL Drizzy shit. Like, it doesn't even, like, again, bro, in 6 years, if this song is still relatively good, no one's gonna even remember that shit. So, like, I tried to listen, like, from that perspective too. Bro, You My Everything, Sexy Red, Drake. Bro, if it wasn't for Not Like Us, bro, this could be like the summer anthem, bro, because it's a very good song.
No, that's it's crazy you say that. So this wasn't my Heat of the Week, but when I was at a bar in LA, that song Red Leather on the We Can't Trust You Part 2 or whatever album with J. Cole sounded amazing. And I had never really listened to the song more than once, so I didn't catch what it was, the beef, and none of that context or expectation was there. And then I downloaded it. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I actually like intentionally told myself this song was whack because I didn't like J. Cole's verse. Thought it was kind of random, but it sounded
is the J.
great.
Cole and Future one, right?
Yeah, Red Leather. Yeah,
Red Leather. Yeah, no, dude, yeah, it's a good song. It's just like the context of the moment. You're like, yo, fuck this guy, bro. Like,
right? Yeah, exactly. And I'm pretty sure I heard the Sexy Red You My Everything song. I don't know where it was. I just know it was recent, and I remember telling myself as well, like, oh shit, like Drake's verse is actually fire. The beat's actually great. I don't think I got to the part of hearing the initial Sexy Red part too much, but I just remember overall thinking to myself, like, I need to revisit that song.
Yeah, bro, that's how I felt. And I'm glad I gave myself I humbled myself to go back, because I was pretty adamant, like, bro, this is stupid. Like, why are we doing this? You know, she can't rap. Bro, that shit, dude, I'm telling you, she's the best part of that song. Like, Drake is just a cool bonus, bro, because yeah, man, it's a good song, bro. Like, I'm telling you, man, I'm like, do I really like this shit? I'm like, yo, I think I really like this fucking song, bro.
Nice. Well, I'm not mad at it because, I mean, we all know that happens from time to time. The song that
Yeah.
you skipped or like originally didn't like or didn't pay any attention to, you're like, oh shit, it's my current favorite song right now. All of a sudden,
Yeah, I would say this is my current favorite song for sure. So you're gonna go with Red Leather though for yours?
no.
Okay.
So I wanted to bring it up because like I'm just surprised I never heard this song before. But my younger brother was playing music at my older brother's place when we were doing a barbecue for round two. It is a Tupac song called "Pour Out a Little Liquor." Um, and I think it came about because we were talking about like top fives and stuff, and I was like, well, if you say Tupac's your top five and you can't name like all his albums, like, do you really mean that shit or is it
You're programmed.
biased?
Yeah.
Right. And I admitted to myself that, I didn't know many of his albums or songs or whatever, except for the main ones. But this one is actually fire. And now, like, one of my favorite Tupac songs, Pour Out a Little Liquor. Standard, like, old school sounding Tupac shit. But the beat's dope. And he flowed on it very well. And it was nice to hear something new from somebody who's as
Yeah.
legendary as him that I enjoyed. Like I rarely experience that with artists that aren't new, like finding an old gem that I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit, this is actually I like this song more than the 10 that fucking Rolling Stone says is the best and I should appreciate. So I definitely check that one out.
Nice. So wait, were you saying just to clear, like that Tupac is in your top five?
No, I mean, I think for the longest time I said that, but at the same time, I'm like, it's just because
We're just trained.
it's so
We're just-
legendary. Like,
yeah,
I have
like,
to
bro.
say it.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. I feel the same exact way because it's crazy though. Because, bro, when I was in college, I think maybe I took this shit too, but like I was waiting to get a haircut at my boy's like house. Because like in college, remember, like one guy was the barber, and you go to his house and they all cut your hair like in the garage and shit. So, bro,
Yeah.
he had a Source magazine that I was reading, and bro, they had a very good article. At the time, seemed crazy, but it was like that for him being the GOAT rapper, dude, he has a lot of throwaway albums, bro. You know what I mean? And that's just like interesting. It's like, okay, I know we love them, and there's such like his like history and his hysteria about him, and he's this mythical creature kind of a thing. But like, there's a lot of albums you're like, bro, like, where's the one or two songs I actually like? You know, and that's crazy for someone who we deem like, no, dude, this is the pinnacle of hip hop. It's him, four other guys, max, and no one else. And it's like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think most people are often saying it's what he represented. It's not his music. And even like the hood rappers that like Boosie, who named their album like Boo Pac or whatever, and like try to play off of his image. Like, I don't think anyone's chanting Tupac shit besides what is it, California Love, and like maybe like one or two other songs. But beyond that, no one's talking about, oh, this album was the greatest and it changed the game. Like, you only hear that shit with like the Jay-Z and Nas's and stuff like that.
Dude, not even Nas though, bro. Yeah.
Well, people say Illmatic.
That one album. I think everyone else says he has like one album. Like, bro, like
yeah,
like,
true. Also, he never really had, because I know you made the Nas Jay-Z comparison with Drake and Kendrick, but then I thought about it. I'm like, but I think Nas, like, I couldn't think of many universal hits to this day that people can immediately say roll off their tongue, like this song. Like that's the undeniable Nas shit. Like his no role models, like J. Cole type thing.
Yeah. But no, dude, that's fair. Besides like Ether, that comes straight to mind, and then you have to go through Illmatic, and then I mean, that song with Puffy was a banger though.
Oh yeah, Hate Me Now.
Hate Me Now is a hip hop classic, you know.
And If I Ruled the World.
If I Rule the World, yeah, dude, he has some, right? So again, I know I got fucking flamed in the comments. I appreciate the comments, by the way, for that. But it's all good, dude. But let's do it right now before we get out of here. Name off the top your like favorite Tupac songs.
Favorite Tupac songs?
Yeah.
I think Just Adam actually asked this in our interview. I know I Get Around was one of my favorites. What was the other one? I think it was with Scarface.
Damn, I know what you're
Fuck.
talking about too. That song is fire, but I think it's more fire because Scarface kills that song.
Yeah, but that is definitely one of my favorites. Now this one, Pour Out a Little Liquor. Granted, that one's more new, but
When you
I would
say
say
new,
it's like
define new.
new
Like
as in like
never
I just
released? Okay.
no,
yeah,
I like
yeah,
I
yeah.
just
Got it,
found out it even fucking existed because no
got it,
one
got it, got it.
talks about it. So Many Tears is another
Yeah,
one.
that's the Scarface one, right?
No, the Scarface one. Damn, now I gotta look it up, but it should be in my playlist. I thought it was.
Damn, that Scarface one is fire.
No,
Might as well-
Smile. That's what it was.
Yeah, that hook is fire, bro.
Yeah,
Okay, so you got Smile.
it's all the like
No More
sentimental,
Tears.
reflective shit.
Which is I think is his best shit, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
think so too.
I Get Around. Okay, so what other songs that were like bangers to you?
For me, honestly, it was like a handful. Oh, Picture Me Rolling. How Do You Want It? Not the biggest fan of Changes. I don't know. I think at this point it's a little cliche to me.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
and
'cause, like,
also
back
the
in the
time,
day.
if dude, when Changes came out, I mean, I know I was still young, but that was dude, I was in 5th grade, but I was very much aware of what was happening. I'm like, bro, like, stop this. Like, you guys wanted to put together like a greatest album, you know, and you made these songs happen, kind of like that felt like a very AI song before AI kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, bro,
Yeah.
y'all just found these lyrics and put them together and made it work. So dude, for me, like,
Oh,
and not
Mama. Dear Mama. Obviously,
Mama,
that was
for
one of my
sure.
favorite for sure.
bro, for me, dog, so I heard that song for the first time when I went to live in DR and my mom was back in India working. Bro, I would hear that song and just fucking cry, bro, as like an 8-year-old. Like, bro, banger. So, dude, for me, off the top of my head is Hail Mary. Like, bro, that shit is crazy, dog. Like, that song is crazy. Hail Mary, Hit 'Em Up, California Love for sure. America's Most Wanted, bro, that shit is insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So those 4 on top of what you said, for sure. And then, oh, bro, he has that song with John B. Are You Still Down?
Oh yeah, amazing song.
So yeah, I would say there's like 10 songs. But my thing is like, so again, that's a lot for us to name off your top 5. But when the dude put out like 1,000 songs, you know what I mean? Like, so like for every one good song, like you felt like you had to listen. Again, some bodies of work were better than others, but dude, he had so many projects, bro. So like it felt like at times like, and then like, and you got so many things after he died that he never got to finish. So it's just like you're getting bits and pieces of it. So like it's not even the true level of art you think he wanted to do. So I think that's the only thing I feel like that hurts him out of the other people in the top 5.
Yeah. Same with Biggie. Like I just feel like they both didn't have a chance. We didn't have a chance to like see their growth and like adapt to current times. And it's hard to compare like when it sounds very outdated at this point. We pretty much love it just because it's nostalgic and it still sounds great, but like it was also like 25 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can, but I can't do the exercise we just did for Biggie though. Like I can't name you 10 Biggie songs that I'm like, this one, that one, this one, that one. I'm just like, yeah, Biggie, for everything I'm being told, he was one of the greatest rappers. If not, I mean, most people say he's better than Pac as just a rapper. But bro, I know like 4 or 5 songs, and then I'm just like again going through my phone looking for things.
No, I can't, which is kind of sucks. And because I remember one summer, like my first summer of college, when me and some friends would in the late hours smoke and listen to, I think, Ready to Die. Was it Ready to Die?
His first album, yeah, with the baby on the cover.
Yeah, we listened to it like back and forth, and I really developed an appreciation for his music because that was the first time I had ever done that. But at the same time, again, it's like, okay, you might each have like one debatable classic album, and there's all this history around, you know, them and the beef and all that shit. But when it comes to top 5, I feel like when these artists do pass away like prematurely, like they immediately get tossed into the legend category, which is kind of unfair.
Yeah. I think someone had this good, and we'll dip after this, but I think someone had this similar thing to say about Kurt Cobain. Like when you try to compare other like indie rock artists or like that kind of rock to him, it's like, well, the benefit that Kurt Cobain has is that he died at the time when he was the greatest thing out. So like, you never saw dude, what did we just talk about with Jaden Smith? Like, yo, why'd he fall off, right? We never had to have the fall off conversation for these certain rappers, right? Because they stayed at that status, and then they unfortunately passed too early. But we never had to see the struggles that Nas had trying to figure out how to fucking find the right producer to truly make his sound perfect. Bro, it took him fucking 15 years to find Hit Boy, right? So yeah, like Pac never had to deal with that. Biggie never had to deal with that. So yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, you're right. I think the moment they pass, it's like, all right, we fucked with them at the time they were alive, and they're immediately the GOATs. It's like, I don't know, bro. Like, we can talk about it at least.
Yeah.
And
that's why nowadays
talk about it more though. My bad. But I think at like 10 years ago, there was like no debate. Like, bro, if you have a top 5, those two have to be in it. Whereas I think now, because we're able to listen to every song ever created, that we're able to be like, well, actually, I don't know, kind of a thing.
Yeah. I think Tyler the Creator kind of mentioned this, how it's insane for like a 14-year-old nowadays to say Big Daddy Kane's the fucking one of the top 5, because it's like you weren't even around. You're just saying it to look like a hip hop purist or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's why nowadays I try to disclose it with like my top 5, because
we do that.
People are always like, oh, but KRS-One could smoke him in a battle, and I'm like, but I don't fucking ever listen to KRS-One, so I can't put him in top 5. Like, I don't know enough about his music
it's like
or impact.
The same way they say like it's the winners are the ones who write history. I think the top 5 conversations only relevant with the people who are listening to modern day music, right? Like it's the old heads will always have their top 5. The new people are like, bro, like we don't listen to that shit at all, bro. Like, so yeah, it's just a very interesting time. But yeah, it's funny we do that practice of like, name me your favorite Biggie songs. It's like, bro, I got like 4. And then I really have to just go through my phone and try to, oh yeah, I know that song and I know that time. Whereas with Pac, like, again, we have like 10, but there's also hundreds of songs that I never even heard of, or like honestly just don't even fuck with. So it's weird. Like those guys are in that sphere, but it's like, I don't really know how true that is anymore. But
yeah, no, I agree.
It is what it is. But great episode, bro. I'm definitely gonna listen to that Tupac song. You said Pour Out Some Liquor.
Pour out a little liquor, not too much, just a little.
Just a little bit, bro. Just a little henny, All right, before we get out of here, though, man, let the people know where they can find us and what we got going on.
Yes, sir. Catch us at audio-theory.com. New episode every week on all platforms. Got the Heat of the Week, Spotify and Apple Music playlists on the website as well. So be sure to check out the Heat of the Week selections. And if you're on the website, or actually if you're on YouTube, check down below. We got the merch links as well. You can see it live on Danny's chest right now. No Diddy. And yeah, besides that, like, subscribe, comment, share, do what you can to support the channel.
Absolutely. Love you, bro. Be safe.
Love you too. Peace.
Peace.